Hi friends, we're going to talk about nutrition. So I was just on Zoom. Brianna and I had a great chat. She's going to do gut protocol for a couple of days to kind of find her footing. So I'm going to talk through, we have a couple different options, and I find that people get really overwhelmed, and you don't need to be overwhelmed, okay? You can try something on for a week or two, and if it feels like it's overly complicated or hard, give it a little more time, okay? Hey, Allison. And then if you hate it, because sometimes we hate things, and that's okay, it just isn't in alignment with your personality, then you can try something different, okay? So to find all this, you want to go to your Beachbody On Demand app, and you want to access nutrition. I don't like doing it on my television. I feel like it's easier to access on your phone or even on your laptop, okay? So you pull up the nutrition tab, and it will give you all the different programs. Don't allow yourself to be overwhelmed. There's two things, okay? We're not even going to talk about gut protocol today. We're just talking about the basics. So you have the containers. Look, I ordered and it's still in the cellophane, okay? Don't feel bad. When I first ordered this, it sat on my cupboard for like a very long time because I was like, how am I going to eat? How am I going to use this? This is like not enough food. I like to eat. I'm going to have to carry these in my pocket everywhere. I don't have time to figure this all out. You do have time to figure it out, okay? So Portion Fix works with gut protocol, but we're just going to talk about Portion Fix, okay? So the first things first, you're going to pull it up and you're going to watch some of her quick videos, and she explains how to get started. So this is basically your macros and a calorie bracket all figured out for you. It gives you a food list. It tells you how many of each containers you're going to have every single day, and then it even gives you food lists, and it tells you which of the foods go into which color container. And to get the most bang for your nutritional buck, you're going to eat at the top of the list, okay? If you want to have wine, you can still have wine. It's still on a list, but you are going to measure it, okay? I don't really measure it, but I'm just saying, you're going to measure it, okay? And then you're going to log it. That's all there is to say about it, okay? My children are here, and they're really distracting to me. So with Portion Fix, first things first, you're going to figure out what your calorie bracket is, and she takes you through that. She takes you through that little mathematical thing. It's easy peasy, okay? And then you can be like me, and you can actually print it off if you want, or you can screenshot it on your phone and save it. But it simplifies it. Instead of being like, I can only have this many calories, or I'm trying to get this many macros. Hi, I'm back. Okay. I'm like, get off all the tech, children. I don't know where I left off. Basically, first things first, if you're doing the containers or you want to experiment with them for a week or two, okay, it's not a tattoo, it's not a forever commitment, you're allowed to mess up. You're going to mess this up. No matter what nutrition program you follow, you're going to mess up, and it's fine. It's just about becoming aware of how to use these and how they fit your life. So what I want you to remember with the containers specifically is this is a training wheel system. This is you figuring out what your body actually needs, and yes, your body needs protein, and yes, it needs vegetables, and yes, it needs carbs, and yes, it needs fats. It's about figuring out how to eat all the things to fuel your body so that you can actually get results. If you're under-eating, you're not going to see results. If you're overeating, you're not going to see results. And so this is simplifying it. So like I said, this is a training wheel system, okay? Initially, I'm going to tell you to use all your containers in your house. You don't have to take them to work or out to dinner and be a crazy person. That's not what this is. But do you actually know what a proper portion size is for your rice or for your protein, like for your chicken or your steak or your lettuce? This will help you. So I have never been one to cram everything in and get the lid on. I just use this loosely because I am not gonna freak out about it. I don't want you to freak out about it too. So like tonight we're doing burrito bowls. I have cooked rice, yes, actual white rice. I have made some chicken, I've made some chicken breast. I am gonna chop up a bunch of lettuce and some tomatoes and stuff like that. So for my burrito bowl, I'm gonna take my yellow and I'm gonna go ahead and put I will pack this full because I like my carbs, and I'm gonna use this. This is my healthy carbohydrate, okay? It gives you a food list, it tells you all the things. I'm simply just gonna scoop my rice, I'm gonna throw it in the bowl. I'm gonna scoop my protein, I'm gonna throw it in the bowl. I don't really use my greens, I just do a handful. I'm gonna, however many handfuls of veggies, and then if I use sour cream, or if I use salsa is really a freebie in my world. whatever, sour cream, maybe an avocado, maybe I'm gonna use a couple scoops, and I could count it as a blue. Or I could live my life and not be freaked out and just be like, okay, the most important players in my burrito bowl are my greens, my carbs, and my reds. There's a vegan plan and there's a regular plan, okay? When you play gut protocol, things change a little bit. So like my black beans that I'm gonna add actually fall into a protein category. And then once I do that, I live my life, I throw all the things in, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna mark it. I'm gonna have a tracker. So you can print this, you can make your own. I've showed you guys how I do it, it's super non-fancy, where I have like a piece of paper, a lined piece of paper, and then at the top I make a coloring crayon mark. My green, my red, my yellow, my purple, which is fruit, my blue, which is healthy fats, my orange, which I don't really use, but whatever, seeds and dressings, and then my spoon, which I just call my peanut butter spoon. I don't count my oil. I'm not taking a bath in it, so I don't really feel the need to track that like a crazy person. But these are the most important players, okay? And so I'm gonna have these on a chart, or you can use an app, whatever, and then I log it. And that way I know as I'm moving through my day, okay, I am low on my vegetables, or I'm heavy on my proteins, or I'm have another carbohydrate. You track it. And then at the end of the day, you see where you're at. You see where you're at. Then the next day, you do the same thing. You don't have to take these in your pockets. You don't have to be chained to them. This is not a punishment. This is simply a training wheel experiment for you to figure out how to properly fuel your body so that you get results. That's all Portion Fix is. It is a lifestyle. It's not a diet. If I'm going to have ice cream, I don't put it in a container. I don't even know where ice cream falls on the fix, but I would probably log it. If I'm going to have a bowl of ice cream and it's not going to be this teeny tiny morsel because I'm here to party, I'm going to mark it. I'm going to log it because this is about being honest. It's not about having some perfect, how did I track all the things list, okay? So if I'm going to have ice cream tonight, I would probably count it as a fruit and a blue, which is a healthy fat. Is that the proper way? I don't know, but I'm not a perfect person. I'm just telling you as your coach and someone who's used this for so many years, this is how I make it work for me, okay? Do you have any questions about that? Greens, super easy ways to get them into your smoothies. Frozen rice cauliflower works well, but you have to blend it. Otherwise, it has a weird consistency. Strangely, zucchini makes it super creamy and delicious. If you were like, I have Shakeology and I really am not a cold smoothie kind of person, there is there's a push right now to eat more dessert. That's what we're calling it, eat more dessert. And there's a ton of recipes. You can make it into balls. I don't know about you, but I like balls. Bars, ice cream. You can make it into something different. It doesn't have to be a shake. It could be a smoothie bowl. I love to have it as a mug cake. Make it a party, okay? You have trial and error. You're not going to get fired. You're not going to get kicked off the island. It's just about doing your best and surrendering the rest. But the most important part is to know what bracket you're in, okay? So that you know how many of each container you're going to eat. And then the second thing, second most important part is to know what actually goes in those containers, okay? Because some things, like you're not going to cram up a tortilla. It'll tell you, like 2 corn tortillas will count as this. So not everything's going to go in these, okay? It's all right. So know your bracket and how many of these containers you need, what actually these containers, like what goes in these containers, what is a protein, what is a carb, what is a fruit, what is a vegetable. It sounds stupid, but there are some tricky things where you're like, oh, I didn't know that was that. Like today I had spaghetti squash. I'm like, I don't know what it is. Spaghetti squash, it's a squash, so does it count as a carb? Is it a vegetable? I looked at my Portion Fix list and it told me if you're not doing I did gut protocol. Oh my gosh, she's tired. Okay, so that's how you use the containers, all right? You reassess like once a month to see where you're at. If you've lost weight, then you're going to change your containers accordingly. If your brain is still exploding over this, I want you to talk to me personally about Time Nutrition. Allison and I, we're going to have a convo and we're going to have an actual call where we interact with each other, and I'm going to tell you how I make this work, and then we're going to figure out how you can make it work. But for me, the idea of Time Nutrition was like, that sounds super overwhelming, but I actually simplified it And I've shared in here how I made that work. Like I have little index cards and I track my day. Like, I don't know. We're not going to talk about that because that just feels complicated. But seriously, these aren't hard. They're really not hard. I promise you. It's okay if you mess up. You're going to track your food. You're going to see where you're at the end of the day. That's what I've been doing. I've been writing down what I've been eating, and then I count up my containers. And I don't binge at the end of the night if I haven't gotten them all in. It's just data. It's just data, okay? So your other option, if you're like, that's way too complicated and super restrictive and I don't want to do that, is 2BMindset, okay? This is our more intuitive nutrition program. People have had so much success with this. I personally know someone that's lost over 100 pounds. I actually know 2 people who've lost over 100 pounds using this system. Carla has lost, I think she's lost 40 or 50 pounds doing this. It works. It works. Carla is the resident expert with this. I am not. Because this is not how my brain works and this makes me freak out. So if the containers make you freak out, no worries, my friend. You have lots of options and we still have more things to try. But these are the 2 foundations. Nutrition is so important, okay? So with this one, again, watch the videos and she explains. She's an actual nutritionist with an actual practice in LA. She helps people. She's not just some, like Google nerd that's come up with these things, okay? All of our programs are based on people who actually know what they're doing, okay? So anyways, tracking is key, okay? The core principles of 2BMindset is just #common sense. You drink water first before anything goes in your pie hole. You make sure that there's more veggies on your plate than anything else. What are her other things? See, I'm not very good at this one. So water first, veggies most. That's kind of her thing. But she tells you, you can find all this. You don't need the book. You pull it all up. It's under the nutrition thing. You can, I think there's even a video that explains the difference if you want to see someone else tell you the difference. But they tell you, like, this is the goal of how you want your plate. They divide it up. So you can learn to look at your plate and be like, I need to have more veggies, or I need to have more of a protein option. Water first, veggies most. It's really very simple, but we like to overcomplicate things, don't we? So there's a tracker. You can print these too. If you recently ordered a challenge pack, you probably got a copy of this book. Get it out. Try it out. Even if you don't do it perfectly, even if you make a hybrid, who cares? It doesn't have to be perfect. There's no pass or fail. This is just you figuring out your secret sauce because we're all different. Okay? Okay, so this is something a lot of you probably got too, this Quick Start Nutrition Guide, and it will give you some great recipes, and it kind of walks through some of this as well. Yeah. So we're not going to talk about supplements. We're not going to talk about anything else. Those are the 2 foundations. So if you were like, I know I need to do this, but I don't know where to begin, you begin by beginning. You pull up the nutrition tab on BOD, and you watch that, you figure out which one you're going to try. You're just going to try it. You're just going to try it for 7 days. You're going to do this for 7 days, and you're going to see what you think, what you feel. If you have some resistance or you freak out, you're not sure how to count something, you're going to text me as your coach and be like, here's my plate. How do I count this? You're going out to eat. You don't need to have your containers and separate things into separate piles. No, you will learn to eyeball. And in the interim, it's okay. It's all right. I still have French fries. If I have French fries, I don't put them in my container. I just count it as a yellow. If I go out and eat a burger, I count it as a red. And I always ask for extra lettuce and I count it as a green. Kumbaya. If I have cheese on it, then I count that as a blue. If I go over on my containers, then I'm just honest. I just write it down. It's just data. It's okay. It's okay. Okay? I hope this has helped you a little bit. If you have questions, please let me know. I just want you to win. I want you to feel more confident. It's okay to not have it all figured out, but the most important thing is to take yourself off, okay, and just try it. Just see where you're at. If you need help, you're going to ask. 7 days. You can do 7 days and then reassess and see where you're at and what you need to tweak, okay? If you want to do gut protocol with me, it is an extra add-on. You do have to pay extra for it. There's a digital unlock. I don't know how much it is. If you really want me to find out, I could. Otherwise, you could just pull it up. You just pull it up on your bod and see what it says. It will never ever be added to the regular membership because it's an extra thing. It has a lot of really great tools and a lot of great recipes, and I really think it's worth it. It is an elimination diet. It is extreme. That doesn't mean that you can't do it. I do think it's worth doing. I've learned so much about my body when I did it, and I printed off the daily journal for that today, and I started. I took my weight, I recorded my weight, I recorded my measurements, and I'm just gonna do it for 7 days. To me, I can do 7 days. The idea of this being 30 days makes my head explode, and I'm like, I don't know. As your coach, I'm like, I don't know if I don't think I can do 30 days, but I can do 7 days. You can do 7 days, right? Doesn't have to be perfect. You just do your best. You log all your data and you figure out where you're at. Tomorrow I will weigh again, and I'll probably start taking some pictures and stuff too. But yeah, that's how I'm gonna make it work. Okay? Okay. Sorry about my internet. I will be on here tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. If you don't know how that translates to your time zone, put it in Google and figure it out. But I will be there if you have questions. Otherwise, you can do this. You're perfectly capable of figuring this out. I am super proud of you. I'm super excited for you. Don't put it off for next week. Don't say, I need to get my grocery shopping in. Nope. You're just going to start tomorrow. I bet you that you have some black beans in your cupboard. I bet you that you have some rice somewhere squirreled away. I bet you that you have some kind of vegetables and some kind of frozen fruit, and you can figure this out. You can make this work. Thinking that you have to get all the information, that you have to do all the grocery shopping, that is just procrastination. It's not going to serve you. If you already feel crappy and you already know you want to do something different, start tomorrow and figure it out as you go. It's just data, right? Big breaths, okay? It's not complicated. It's just you figuring out what will serve you, okay? Okay.